All right, testing my mic here. Okay, there we go. That sounds about right. And let me switch to my overlay here. And there we go. We are finally live here. Welcome back to the stream. And gosh, it's been a long time since I did one of these morning streams, hasn't it? Um, Hopefully we'll be continuing with these morning streams a lot here. Yeah. Um. Anyhow, I don't think we need much of an introduction. Yeah, let's just continue with our JavaScript course by Brockcode. So yesterday we finished off with the if statement segment, and now we are entering segment 11. It's called check properties. So let's give that a try.
So today I'm going to explain the checked property in JavaScript. The checked property determines the checked state of an HTML checkbox or a radio button element. By examining this property, we can determine if a checkbox is checked or a radio button is selected. In this program, if I were to not select any of these buttons, we have a different result. Within our HTML file, we will create an input element. The type is going to equal checkbox. Then for the ID, I will set this equal to
Right. So let's create a checkbox here.
my checkbox. And here's our checkbox. We should probably add a label so that people know what this is for.
Before I
So
forget,
the
let
label,
me
I will
add
set the
the
before attribute to be my checkbox.
attach
What's the label
our
going to say?
JavaScript file
Let's say
here.
subscribe, like subscribe button. Utilizing the for attribute, if the for attribute is the same as the ID, when we click on the label, it should still select the checkbox.
What's that again?
Set the for attribute to be my checkbox. What's the label going to say? Let's say subscribe, like subscribe button. Utilizing the for attribute, if the for attribute is the same as the ID, when we click on the label, it should still select the checkbox. All right, let's add a break. Then we will create some is the same as the ID. When we click on the label, it should still select the checkbox.
Oh, that's what for is for, huh? Hmm. That's that's a fun fact to know.
Let's add a break. Then we will create some radio buttons. We will again need an input element. The type this time will
So I'm gonna open up live server, and I know I have an. In fact, can I just open it up like this? Yep. Oh, they have a inbuilt search. Wait, why did it sells everything when I entered P over there? Okay. So to open up this, and why is my phone different? Probably because they might have set the um font family. Yeah, font family to Dana. Does that change it? Does that change anything? Just for Dana. Okay, I don't change anything that much.
not be a checkbox. It will be
Oh, because of course I always forget to attach my CSS, and it would come up and build with the boilerplate code is what I say. Okay, let's attach that, and yeah, he might be using some other font though. It's a bit bolder, or maybe he just made the font bolder. We just give this one a okay.
radio. For the
This
ID,
work?
this will be
Yeah,
a
it works
visa button.
alright.
I'm going to abbreviate button to BTN, so pay attention to that.
And if I don't, if I misspell this, it doesn't do anything.
Then I will create a label, a visa button. I'm going to abbreviate button to BTN, so pay attention to that. Then I will create a label for this radio button. We will set the for attribute to be the same as the ID. Then the text will be Visa. I'm going to add a break. Okay, let's copy this radio button, paste it 2 times. We'll change the second Visa to be MasterCard. Let's change the ID first. MasterCard. Let's copy the ID, paste it within the for attribute of the second label.
Okay, we're gonna create MasterCard and was the last one called Amex or something?
Then change the text. MasterCard. Then the third ID will be PayPal button. Then change the for attribute
Of course.
and the text.
Can't leave out
So with radio
PayPal.
buttons, they should all be within the same group. Currently they're not, so I can select all of them if I would like. We should only be able to select one from any group. We will group these radio buttons by their name attribute. They should all have the same name. The name, let's say, is card. So let's copy this attribute and paste it within the other input elements. Now we should only be able to select one, and that appears to work. Lastly, let's create a submit button. We are creating a button. The text will be submit. The type is submit. And for the ID will be my submit. I will create a paragraph element. We'll populate it with some text, depending if subscribe is checked or not. Same thing goes with our radio buttons. I will create 2 paragraphs after our button. The ID on the first paragraph. Let's name sub result. There will be no text content to begin with. We'll change the text content of our sub result paragraph with some text that states if the user is subscribed or not.
Alright.
We'll create another paragraph for the radio buttons. Again, there's going to be no text content. I'll set the ID of this paragraph to be payment result. Now, before we move to our JavaScript file, I'm just going to edit the CSS on the
I like how in the first HTML CSS course that we did, it was mentioned that we don't use IDs that much, and Brocode here is just, just using IDs. Or only uses IDs, rather, I should say. I can't see anywhere that he uses classes. So, who knows? Maybe they're still alive, perhaps? Or maybe it might just be exclusive to just front-end designers as such. Maybe, people in the backend don't aren't much worried about that.
text content. I'll set the ID of this paragraph to be payment result. Now, before we move to our JavaScript file, I'm just going to edit the CSS on the button to make it a little bit bigger so you guys can read it. So the ID of that button was my submit. We are selecting an ID, my submit. I will set the font size to be 1 EM. And that's probably good enough. Maybe I'll add one more break after the subscribe button and the PayPal radio button, just so that it's not as cramped. That's decent enough. Okay, so PayPal radio button, just so that it's not as cramped. That's decent enough.
So he added the break after what?
Subscribe button and the PayPal radio button, just so that it's not as cramped.
Okay. Let's see. Huh. Didn't realize that would happen. Why is this squared and these two are just round? Oh, because they're a radio button. The first one is a checkbox. Either way, they should be in a new line. Why aren't they in a new line? Where's that the break tag here after each? Yeah, there we go. So let's quickly do that here. And after our subscribe, add one more. So you can only select one at a time. Is that controlled? I think that's controlled by this name attribute here. if I were to let's test that the out. If I were to make this, yeah, it's controlled by the name property, all right.
That's decent enough. Okay, so be sure to save your CSS file, your HTML file. Then we are now within our JavaScript file. What we're going to do now is get these elements by their ID and store them within constants so they're easier to work with. Okay, let's start with our checkbox. So the checkbox had an ID of my checkbox. Const my checkbox. Be sure to pay attention to the capitalization. Feel free to change that if you would like. Just be sure it's consistent with what you have currently with your HTML elements.
That this type of casing is called camel case, right? And I think that's the convention followed in JS, whereas Python uses, or Python should prefer snake case, but I've seen people use camel case too.
We are accessing the document of our web page. Get element by ID. The ID is going to be my checkbox, and that's it. So let's get the other elements. We have my checkbox, then we have our Visa button, const Visa button, get element by ID, Visa button. Then let's repeat this with our MasterCard button. Again, pay attention to the capitalization, it's pretty important. Then we have our PayPal button. We need our submit button next. My submit. Then our
Hmm. Then copy that line. It's not bad, it's PayPal. Let's change this to so we should have copied the entire line. I just change the variable name and the ID.
our paragraph elements. Sub result. Then payment result. All right, here are all the constants that we'll need. So when we click on the
Let's do that real quick.
submit button, we will execute a function. So we are taking my submit, that's the name of the button, dot on click. I keep on spelling on lick. On click equals a function, parentheses, curly braces. When we click on the button, what are we going to do? We recently learned about if statements. We will first check the checked property of the subscribe button. We'll place it within an if statement. So to create an if statement, it's if, parentheses, curly braces. We are examining my checkbox, that's the subscribe button, dot checked property. This will evaluate to be true or false. If this is true, we will execute this code. If not, we do something else. If somebody is subscribed, let's change the text content of our sub result paragraph. So sub result, we are accessing the text content to equal, maybe I'll use a template literal. You are subscribed. Else, the user is not subscribed. Let's copy this line, paste it. You are not subscribed. Let's test this.
All right. Okay, let's do that. See if that works. Did not work. So first of all, I have the script attached. What could be the issue here? Do I have sub result out there? All right. I have the sub result paragraph tag created. That is the same. Huh. Okay. Oh, I see. I see. So simply just checking this doesn't uh change the check property. You need to click on the submit to. So they must have some sort of connection. Okay, and what about? They don't have a connection, but this is the. I guess it just takes the most nearby submit button by default, perhaps.
If I click on the checkbox
Maybe
and
that's
press the
what
submit
it's
button,
doing.
it states that I am subscribed. You are subscribed. If I were to refresh the page, I don't click the subscribe button, press submit, you are not subscribed. All right, we know that works. Let's move on to the radio buttons. First, we will check to see if somebody selected Visa. We are accessing the Visa radio button. If Visa button dot checked, if this is true, we are changing the text of the payment result paragraph. Payment result dot text content equals you are paying with Visa. Let's see if that works. I'll select Visa, press submit. You are paying with Visa. All right, let's add else if. The next radio button is MasterCard button. If this is checked, MasterCard button dot checked. Then we will change the text content of the payment result to be you are paying with MasterCard.
I've noticed one thing, yeah. Uh, Brocode is always using the what do you call this backticks, right? Backticks thing for the string over there. I think it's because backticks are the only way you can use the f strings equivalent in JavaScript. Maybe that might be the reason. And let's stick to that perhaps. Let's make that practice. I'm just checking whether I'm streaming to YouTube at the same time. I don't want to repeat the. So if you check back on, I think it was day 3 of the HTML CSS course, which was the final day of the course, I forgot to stream to YouTube at the same time and had to do a 5-minute stream real quick. It happens. I mean, it was the first time which it happened to me. It's like those comments or memes out there saying, "Imagine if we forgot to record." But I just experienced it in real life. I don't need to imagine it.
You are paying with MasterCard. Let's add
Okay, so what happened here? Oh, okay. I don't have to make this an else if not an else statement.
else if statement. Else if. This time we are examining the PayPal button. PayPal button dot checked. If this is true, change the text content of the payment result to be you are paying with PayPal. You are paying with PayPal. Else, if none of these radio buttons are checked, we will change the text content of the payment result to be you must select a payment.
But we don't have. Oh, we have PayPal. Okay. Okay. Cool. That case, let's change this to an else statement.
Payment type. I will press submit without selecting a payment type. You must select a payment type. All right, everybody, so that is the checked property. By examining the checked property of an HTML checkbox or a radio button element, we can determine if those elements are checked or not. And well, that is the checked property in JavaScript.
Isn't there a way to uncheck this? MasterCard, PayPal, Visa. This just toggles off the you are not subscribed. Cool. Let's go back to the video.
Welcome back. So today I'm going to explain the ternary operator in JavaScript. You write a condition, then add a little question mark, kind of like you're asking a question. How is this useful?
Oh, this is like the one-liners in Python, right? Like x is equal to 5 if some condition, as like you can just write it in one line. So I think this would be the JS equivalent.
Well, it's a shortcut to if and else statements. It helps to assign a variable based on a condition. You write a condition.
So do we put this underneath projects? Um, why not? Let's put this underneath projects. So we call this box app. Yeah, let's just call it that. Close these three and create new files. So
Addition. Then use the ternary operator
what just happened? I somehow accidentally muted the video.
like to do. Then add a colon, then some code if that condition is false. Here's an example. Let's say we have a user's age. Age equals 21. I would like to check to see if somebody's age is greater than or equal to 18. Age greater than equal to 18. Then I will use the ternary operator, kind of like I'm asking a question. Is age greater than or equal to 18? If this condition is true, we can write some code. I'll create a string. You're an adult. Then what if the condition is false? I'll add a colon. Then I will execute this code if the condition is false. You're a minor. This is helpful if you need to assign a variable based on a condition. So I'll create a new variable, let message equals, then
All right, okay. So if we were to write this in Python, it would be age. Actually, it will be message is equal to you're an adult if age greater than or equal to 18, else you're a minor. I guess in Python, the value comes first, then the statement. If that value is true, then whatever should be the value. If the statement evaluates to false, if the condition evaluates to false, that was a bit of a tongue twister there. Okay, so I guess in JavaScript the condition comes first, the value which should be assigned if the condition is true comes next, and the value which should be assigned if the condition evaluates to false comes last. This is the syntax. So in this scenario, he did age is equal to 21, and the message, rather than writing if age greater than or equal to 18, message set to, for now he's not using tactics, he's using the double quotation marks for some reason. We use tactics. An adult, else you're a minor, and and let's yeah, so this is how you would write this traditionally, but with this ternary operator you can do this. Let message is equal to, you put his age greater than or equal to 18. No, you need a question mark. Okay, yeah, it's 8. So basically age greater than or equal to 18, we're asking a question. If it is, then you're an adult. Else you're a minor. Hey, there we go.
we write our condition. So if age is greater than or equal to 18, if that's true, we will assign this string to this variable, this message. If it's false,
I'm
instead
not
we will assign
comment
this one.
this.
It's an alternative to writing something like this. So with programming, we try not to repeat ourselves if we don't have to. Here we're assigning message to be either this string or this one. Our ternary operator is more condensed, and I feel like it's easier to read than that if-else statement. It's a shortcut.
Don't we have? Oh, yeah, of course. Uh, Right.
If you choose to use it, I tend to use it a lot. Then just to test it, let's console.log our message, just to be sure that it works fine. Console.log our message. Our age is 21, you're an adult. If my age was 12, you're a minor. Let's go over a few more exercises. This time we will have let time. Time will be between 1 and 24, like a 24-hour clock. I will set time to be 16. 16 I think would be 4 p.m. We will assign a greeting. Equals, then we'll write a condition. Is time less
Yeah, we'll
than 12?
just attach that style sheet so we don't confuse ourselves if we were to use it.
Then to an array operator, like we're asking a question. If the time is less than 12, it's the morning. Good morning. We'll use a colon.
All right, let me do that first. Is it yeah, if it's before 12 p.m. then we would say good morning. Else it would be, actually you need to say good afternoon, but it can also be like above, right? It can be, if it's above 4 or 5, we would prefer to say good evening. Yes, we'll go with good evening. What is he
Then write some
going
code if
with?
it's false. If it's not the morning, it's at least the afternoon. Good afternoon. Then let's console.log our
I think
greeting.
we'll just do evening.
Good afternoon, because it's 4 p.m. What if it was 9? Good morning. All right, I have a few more examples. What if somebody's a student? Let is student. This will be true or false if you're a student. Let message.
You know what? Why the semicolon? Why semicolon in JavaScript? Semicolons are used to end a statement where they are not always required. It's considered good practice to include them to avoid potential errors. So, see, you should, okay, but why? Why? An ambiguous case that breaks in the absence of a semicolon. Hmm. Oof, 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 oof. Oh, this will be semicolon missing at this line. Also, the compile just goes here. Hmm. All right. Yes. The best thing to do is just keep that semicolon just to avoid errors, as the article said. So,
Equals.
or as
Now with the
Google
Boolean variable,
said.
you can just write the Boolean variable itself. Is student question mark? Are you a student? If so, you are a student. If not, you are not a student. Then let's console.log our message. We are a student. You are a student. Let's set this to be false. You are not a student. It's very easy to read with Boolean variables. You write the Boolean variable, then add a question mark. Here's a challenge round. We will have a purchase amount as if somebody's buying something. If somebody's purchase amount is over $100, they get a 10% discount. So let purchase amount equal, let's say $125, or some other unit of currency of your choosing. Let discount equals, then the condition is, we're checking if purchase amount is greater than or equal to $100. Question mark. Is somebody's purchase amount greater than $100? If so, they will get a 10% discount. Colon. If that's false, they get no discount, 0. So then let's display the total. Console.log.
Oh, okay. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. So, let's just do this real quick since this has a additional challenge and I want to test one thing out here too. So basically, we give 10% discount if the amount is greater than 100 or equal to 100 would be eligible for the discount too. All right, okay. We're gonna console.log. So we need to based on the discount percentage, right? So basically purchase amount, my uh this is how you do it, or f strings, f string JavaScript, or template literal as I called, or it should be dollar. Okay, this dollar should be inside. Okay, so console.log, you need to pay. Can I use? Yeah, I can use a dollar there. Need to pay dollar purchase amount minus. So purchase amount times discount divided by 100, right? Since it's percent, and cool. Let's see if that worked. And that did work. It applied 10% discount. I need to pay 112.5. What if it's just, yeah, there we go. Cool. And if it's $100, it will become 90, right? Yeah.
I'll use a template literal. Your total is, I need a dollar sign for our unit of currency. Then I need a placeholder, so I need another dollar sign. The purchase amount minus the purchase amount multiplied by, let me scoot over a little, the discount divided by 100. So the total, since we get a discount, is $112.50. If our purchase amount was $99, well, we don't get that discount. Your total is $99. All right, everybody, so that's the ternary operator. It's a shortcut to an if-else statement. It helps to assign a variable based on a condition. You write a condition, add a question mark as if you're asking a question, do this code if that condition is true, else do this code if that condition is false. I'll be using the ternary operator a lot just because I feel like it's helpful. And well, that is the ternary operator in JavaScript.
It's at least when I code in Python, I kind of use this thing everywhere alongside list comprehensions and dictionary comprehensions. They're really useful to kind of you know like it's like if list comprehensions and dictionary comprehensions did not exist, my code would be way too long. Not just my code, I guess everyone's code would be way too long, wouldn't it? They're really helpful. Speaking of which, our list comprehensions, yeah, and they're faster too technically because they get compiled in C or there's something like that, I believe. You have to Google it. I don't know what it is, but I do know that they're faster technically. Available in JS. Okay. Oh, it just has methods, alternate methods there.
എൻട്രിയിൽ ഈ കോഴ്സിന് ചേർന്നതിന് ശേഷം എനിക്ക് പൈത്തണിൽ ഒരു നോളജും ഇല്ലായിരുന്നു എനിക്ക്.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to explain switches. A switch can be an efficient replacement to using many else-if statements. Here's an example of a program I wrote without using switch.
Now, I know switches do exist in Python. They are like one of the newer additions to Python. Newer as in switches and Python. Switch case, yeah. Yeah, they're like technically new. They're a newer thing in Python. And truth be told, I have never used switches in Python. Like I don't know. It's maybe it might be because like when you dwell with production and stuff, I was using 3.8, 3.9. So I even if I wanted to use switch case statements, I wouldn't be able to do so. Maybe I need to give it a go, use it in my code and see what it's like. But yeah, the truth is I never really had a legit good reason to use switch statements. Ah, but yeah, I think it's maybe it's popular in JavaScript. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just one of those features which exists, but no one uses it. Uses them.
Which we have a day. Day will normally be the number 1 through 7. If day equals 1, we'll console.log. It is Monday, which you can see here. If day was 2, well then it's Tuesday. All the way up to 7, which is Sunday. I do have an else statement that states our day variable is not a day. For example, if I set day to be, I don't know, like a string of pizza, well then pizza is not a day, but it really should be. If you find yourself using a lot of else if statements, I would instead recommend creating a switch. Here's how to create one. We'll keep our day variable. I'll set that to be 1. To create a switch, we will type switch, parentheses, curly braces. Within the parentheses of the switch, we will place a variable or a value. What are we examining? Let's examine our day variable. We examine a value against matching cases. To create a case, type case, then a value or a condition. We will see if day equals 1. So day, case, 1. Are these two values equal? If they are, then we can do something. We can execute some code. So add a colon, then any code underneath this case will be executed if there's a match between our value or variable day and this value. So let's console.log. It is Monday. Then be sure to add a break. I'll demonstrate why you need break later. So day is 1. It is Monday. Let's add another case for case 2, in case day equals 2. So let's copy and paste what we have. Case 2, it is Tuesday. Let's change day to be 2. It is Tuesday. All right, let's do this all the way up to case 7. All right, we have cases 1 through 7. If I change day to be 7, well then, it is Sunday.
Why is this always coming like towards the right for some reason? Weird. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Right, let's change these two. It's Tuesday. We could have a object and just that instant, can we? That would be a better way to do it, honestly, but let's just follow the flow right now. Or go with the flow right now. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Well, today is the day I'm recording it is actually it's Saturday today, right? Yeah, it is Saturday. 2 in the afternoon right now. I'm sorry, it's Sunday.
You can also add a default case, in case there are no matches. Now what if we set day to be pizza, which doesn't make sense? Well, there are no matching cases. Once we review all of the cases and there's no matches, we exit the switch. You also have the capability to add a default case, in case there are no matches. What's the default behavior of the switch if there's no matching cases? Let's console.log. I should probably use a literal for this.
Break after that,
our day variable is not a day. So now
oh, I forgot to use backticks for the rest of the string statements. Day is not a day. Not a valid day.
Execute this default case. Pizza is not a day. All right, now the reason that we have these break statements is to break out of the switch once we have a matching case. I'll demonstrate what happens if we remove these. All right, let's set day to be 2.
I'm just gonna completely guess here. It's gonna just print out it is Tuesday. But it's also gonna print out the default statement.
As a Tuesday. It is Tuesday, it is Wednesday, it is Thursday.
Hey, what?
Thursday, it is Friday, it is Saturday, it is Sunday. 2 is not a day. So the reason that we have these breaks is to break out of the switch. If we don't have them, once we have a matching case, we will execute the code found within that space, then cascade down and execute any code that follows after, including code within different cases. So that's why you want these break statements after each case, to break out of the switch.
I mean, to be frank, isn't this creating unnecessary? Because it doesn't follow the dry, do not repeat yourself concept that much in that case, right? I guess it defeats the purpose of having this thing in the first case, doesn't it? Or first case, do you see what I did there?
Let's go over a more complex example. Let's say we have a test score variable between 0 and 100. My score will be 92%. I will also create a letter grade variable, which we will declare but not assign. I'm going to examine our test score. So another way in which you can write a switch is something like this. I'm going to examine the value of true against matching cases which contain a condition. So case, then I'll write a condition. Is test score greater than or equal to 90, as in 90%? This condition will evaluate to be true or false. If true is equal to true, we will do
What did I, oh, okay.
some code. If this is false, we skip over it. If our test score is greater than or equal to 90, let's assign our letter grade variable to equal an A. Then be sure to break. Then I'm going to test this with console.log. We will display our letter grade. We have an A. Let's do this for anything greater than 80. The user will receive a B.
Switch true.
To examine our test score. So another way in which you can rate a switch is something like this. I'm going to examine the value of true against matching cases which contain a condition. So
Why did I put true in
case,
that?
then I'll write a condition. Is test score
Oh, is it so that if the case evaluates to true, so if you have false, that will get maybe
greater than or
that's
equal
what's
to 90
happening.
as in 90%. This condition will evaluate to be true or false. If true is equal to true, we will do some code. If this is false, we skip over it. If our test score is greater than or equal to 90, let's assign our letter grade variable to equal an A. Then be sure to break. Then I'm going to test this with console.log. We will display our letter grade. We have an A. Let's do this for anything greater than 80. The user will receive a B. Test score greater than or equal to 80. Letter grade will equal B.
Oh, our viewer count has increased. Hey to whoever is watching right now, welcome to my stream. Just doing some JS here. Right, so sign in here and then we break. And I think this just breaks the purpose of having these switch statements, right? Really the purpose is to not repeat yourself, but just keep on adding these break statements. What did I do here? Yeah, okay, there we go.
B. Let's change our test score to be 85. The user receives a B. Let's follow this pattern. 70 will be a C. Yep, C. 60 will be a D. 60 is D. Then for the default case, I will set letter grade to be F.
I would
Letter grade equals
honestly prefer to just use FL statements, FL statements here. So what's the default? Okay, you fail by default. Okay, so letter grade is set to F, and then we just log our grade here. Letter grade. Also, you know, for the sake of it, I'm gonna switch this to false afterwards to see what happens. Okay, so hey, we got an A. All right. So this evaluated to true, and then letter grade was assigned A. What if we change this to false? Will we get assigned a B then? Okay. Why? Oh, because 92 is still greater than 80. Okay. In that case, what if we get an 82? This we'll still get an A in this case, right? Yeah, we would, because this evaluates to false, and then this gets as letter grade is assigned as A, and then we just log it after breaking out of here. It's true by default, right? Oh no, it's not true by default. Okay, didn't know that.
If I set my test score to be 33%, so with a test score of 33, the letter grade is F. Alright everybody, so that's a switch. If you find you're using a lot of else if statements, I would recommend using a switch instead. It's not bad if you have a few, but if you have many, I would use a switch instead. And well everybody, those are switches in JavaScript. Hey, it's me again. So today I'm going to explain string methods in JavaScript. String methods allow you to manipulate.
I guess it depends. I mean, I guess once we reach a scenario, we'll know for sure what would be more apt there.
And work with text, also known as strings. In this example, I have a username. Username equals a string of text. Why don't you go ahead and create a username variable and set it equal to either your username, if you have one, or your full name. Strings have different built-in methods where we can manipulate this text one way or another. Here's a few examples. Suppose I would like to get the first character of the string.
Oh, finally we reached the methods part.
I can use the char at method, type a string or a variable containing a string, then follow this with dot. By adding a dot, we are accessing any properties or methods that the string has. follow this with char at, then list an index. The first character is 0. The second character would be 1. So get the character at index 0. That should be a B. However, if I were to run this, let's go to our DevTools. Nothing appears to happen because it's going to return a single character. Let's place that within console.log just so that we can see it. Cut this code and paste it within console.log. So the first character in my string.
So basically, it's just taking the index of the string, right? Can't you just do is this relevant in JS? Does this work? Oh yeah, of course this works. Or I guess you can also do username.caret, which I think is pointless because you can just use the indexing part of it, can't you? Cool.
Is B. But depending
I guess maybe okay, would this error out or that did not error out as such. What if would this error out if we use the list indexing way? Students undefined, okay.
on what you wrote, it might be different for you. The character at index 1 would be R. Then 2 is O. So that is the char at method. The index of method will return the index of the first occurrence of a character. Let's find the first
Basically, it's equivalent to index in Python. This is what I'm gonna do through the entirety of my strings. I'm gonna compare everything to Python.
Of an O. It will return an index. And then again, I have to console.log whatever is returned. So let's place this method within console.log. What is the index of the first occurrence of an O? That would be 2. 0, 1, 2. Otherwise, for the last index, let's change the method to be last index of, which would be 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the length.
Oh, you have last index of. So, I guess you have to use all that to see the difference. It's not, oh, of course, we need to use camel keys here.
Property, this isn't a method. To get the length of a string, type the string or a variable containing the string.
It's
Not
an
length. This isn't a method, but it's very similar.
it's a property, right? More, I guess can you still call it an attribute in Python? I believe you would. In Python you'll use the length function. You don't have a length attribute. I guess technically it has this, so who knows? Maybe. And len just returns that attribute.
So the length of my username is 7 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's how to get the length of a string. Now we are going to trim the string. Maybe there's a bunch of white spaces after or before.
Okay. It's the strip equivalent in Python. Right? Does accept it's just for the okay, and if you just do username. Okay. But can you do this though? Trim specific character. Oh, you can't. Strip allows to do that, so maybe it's not the same after all.
I will reassign username equal to. Let's take our username variable dot.
Hey, hey to whoever's watching right now. I can see the viewer count just went up. I really don't know if it's real time though.
Then I will console.log my username. There's my name and there's no white space after. Let's add some white space before our name. Yep, and there's no white space. To make my name all uppercase, I can use the to uppercase.
Why do JavaScript methods start with? Oh, is it the first? But they're more descriptive, whereas in Python you just have upper, lower, then what title, but you know I guess JavaScript it will be 2 uppercase, 2 lowercase, 2. I don't know, maybe it has a title method, maybe 2 title. I mean, I guess we can. Oh, no, it doesn't have 2 title. Okay, it is worth a try though. This should. Alright, and let's just remove that space. So it should definitely have a 2 lowercase though, right? Hey, there we go.
Uppercase method. Now my string is all uppercase. Then there's two lowercase to make all of the characters lowercase. There's repeat to repeat a string. Within the
Repeat. Okay.
parentheses of the method, how many times do you want to repeat the string? If I were to type 3, we'll repeat the string 3.
Wait. Doesn't JavaScript have this thing? Like can't. Okay. Wait, can you do this then? Okay. I guess that's why they have a repeat method explicitly. With Python, you can just multiply it with a number really, or with an integer rather. It just repeats itself. I guess yeah, this is JavaScript thing. Okay, does it accept anything else though? Just the count. Return the string value that is made from count copies appended together. Count is 0, the empty string is returned. I mean, if count is 0, then why are you even using the method?
3 times. To determine if a string starts with a given character, we can use the starts with method. This will return a boolean.
Oh, finally a method which is exactly as it is, and Python also has starts with. Although I think it uses snake case, right, to write out the method.
I will store that with
But hey, at
variable.
least the
Username
naming part of it is same.
Starts with method. We will check to see if the string starts with an empty space. Then let's console.log the result. That is false. My username does not begin with a space. But what if it did? I'll add one. Then that returns true. This could be useful within an if statement. If result.
Should return false,
If the string starts with a white space. Let's console.log. Your
Hey, there we
username
go.
can't begin with an empty space. Else, let's console.log the username.
Let's use try to use switch case statements for that. I guess here it's going to be pretty irrelevant to use that, but let's just do that for the sake of it, I guess. Okay, does it start with a space? So how would you do this? Switch true. So case, I guess. How would you do this to like what would you do? Switch true. Switch what true? Oh yeah, switch case result then. Case result. Then log. So basically it starts with the space. We tell the user your username can't begin with spaces. Else, well, not else, it would be, well, first we need to break out of it. Then we have, oh no, not case default, it's just default. We log, what do we log? We log the username. Do it in uppercase. What is do local uppercase? What is this? Returns a string where all alphabetic characters have been converted to uppercase, taking into account the host environments. Also, it takes into account the scope. I believe just converts the variable in its, if the variable x is in the local scope. That's what does perhaps. We'll convert it into lowercase then. Cool, I guess that should work. And if we have a space, hey, there we go.
My username has a white space in the beginning. Your username can't begin with white space. If that were false, then we will display my username. So that is the starts with method. There's also ends with. Does my username end with a white space? It does not. But what if it did? Your username can't end with an empty space. Next is the includes method. Does the string contain an empty space? I'll split my username into two.
Can't you just do if this in string? In that That should work, right? I would be surprised if that doesn't work. Wait, what? Wait, you can't use in in okay, in JS. In string in huh. Okay, that's okay, I didn't expect that to happen there. So what else can you use? You have to use this method, huh?
Your first and last name would work as well.
Right.
Your username can't include an empty space. Currently it does. Your username can't include an empty space. If it didn't, then we pass the test. We will display the username. All right, now this time we will create a phone number. Let phone number equals, make up some phone number, including dashes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So this phone number is a string, even though it contains numbers, because strings can contain numbers, but we treat them as characters. Let's eliminate all the dashes in our phone number.
Oh, okay, replace all. It would be the replace
Here's one way we can do
equivalent,
that.
I guess.
Let's reassign our phone number equals our phone number. We will use the replace all method. Which character are we replacing? Let's replace any dashes, comma, then the character to replace the dashes with, or whatever you put for the first character. We will replace all dashes with no characters. Then let's console.log our phone number, and that should eliminate all of the dashes. Or otherwise, you could replace it with a different character. Let's do a forward slash. So 123/456/7890. There's also the pad start method. Pad start. The first value within the
Can
pad start
use
method
this
is a
to
specified
create an
length.
empty string, right? So if that worked, I forget to write out the semicolon there. Yep, that worked.
How many characters should the string be? I would like the string to be 15 characters long. Then for the second value, make sure to comma separate it. We can pad the start of the string with a given character. Let's say 0. So the result is a couple zeros, then our phone number.
Okay. I don't think we have something like this in Python, because I haven't seen any equivalent method. Pad start. Well, I guess you can it will be just simple logic to build this out, but see if that worked. And so 3 and 3 3 4 3 3 4, that's 10, 2 12, and 3 would be 15. That's right. That's 15 the
Pad
length.
the string with zeros until it's 15 characters long.
What if I want to pad it by 1? It doesn't pad anything at all. Okay.
To 20, then we would have more zeros. There's more padding. Then there's pad end. Pad the end of the string with this character until the string is 15 characters long. All right, everybody, so those are string methods. They allow you to manipulate and work with text, also known as strings. We'll have more practice with these in the future. And well, those are a few useful string methods in JavaScript.
I knew I was underwater. I just didn't realize I was this underwater. If you're stressed about your paper, just get grammar.
Hey everybody, so today I'm going to explain string slicing in JavaScript. String slicing is the process of creating a substring from a portion of another string. This won't alter the original string. Just to demonstrate, let's create a constant for our full name.
All right.
Go ahead and type in your full name. Or you can copy me. I'm going to extract the first name from my full name and create a new string out of it. So I'll declare this let first name equals. Now to create a substring, we can follow this formula. We take our string, in this case our full name, dot, then use the built-in slice method. Slice. Then we can list a starting and ending index. Where would we like to begin? So the first character has an index of 0. We'll start at the beginning, index 0, comma, where are we going to end? 0, 1, 2. This isn't necessarily going to work, and let me demonstrate. So let's console.log our first name. So my first name is BR. So the ending index is actually exclusive. In my full name, we're ending at O, but we don't include it within our...
This is basically Python indexing, which can you follow something similar in JS? Yes, you can't. You have to use the slice method.
our substring because the ending index is exclusive. I'll increase the ending index to 3. That should include one more character, which it does. Now let's get the last name. Let last name
Does it
equals,
have
again, follow this
negative
formula.
indexing though?
Take our original string, use the built-in slice method, state the beginning index, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mine will be 4. Yours may be different depending on where.
Does JS have negative index? Maybe let's type out negative. Okay. Huh.
What your name is,
That sounds
and the
close,
ending
yeah.
index. 4, 5, 6, 7. And remember that the last index is exclusive, so I'm going to increase that to be 8. Then we'll
Negative
split out.
indexing is no wonder Python is, you know, Python is used in machine learning. Like with machine learning, you need as much ease in development as possible. Okay, so slice 3. Do that. Yeah, and do that.
Our last name. Console.log, last name. And there's my last name. So the reason that I set the beginning index to be 4 and not 3 is because we'll include that space within the result, as you can see here. If you're going to be creating a substring from some position all the way to the end, you don't necessarily need an ending index. I'm going to remove the ending index, and this should work the same. All right, what if I need the first character in the string? Let first.
Would this work though? Yes, not. So you can just specify the first index.
Char,
Yes.
meaning character, equals. Take our string, we will use the slice method. For the first character, you can use 0, 1. Then let's display our first character. And in my example, mine is B. For the last character, let last character, full name, dot slice. We can use a negative index even. If you're using a negative index,
Huh. Never mind. I guess we can use a negative index.
you'll begin at the end. Then by decreasing the number, you'll work your way towards the beginning.
I guess arrays doesn't have a negative index by default.
So the last character in my name is E. Negative 2 would be DE. 3 is ODE. 4 is CODE for code. Negative index
Right.
work as well. With these specific numbers that I've listed, they're only going to work if my name is exactly this. What if I were to change my first name to be
Can
instead
we
of
do
Ro,
this?
Joseph, like Joseph? Then let's display our first name, then our last name.
We can't. Okay.
First name Bro, last name F, which is not correct. To make this program more dynamic, we can combine string slicing with the first name Bro, last name F, which is not correct. To make this program more dynamic, we can combine string slicing with the index of method. We'll search the string for the first instance of a space. Then depending on where that space is, we'll take the first part of our full name and create a substring for the first name. Anything after the space will be our last name. So let's turn these lines into comments. We don't need them anymore. Let first name.
Does split in JS? Oh no, never mind. They have a split. I guess it's because he hasn't covered arrays yet. You can just do this. Actually, can you unpack and this something like this work? Let there you go, that worked. So why did it give it out in form of an array though? Oh, wait a second, it did not unpack, it just assigned this the value of this 2 times. Okay, I guess does this work? Nope, that did not work. Guess we just have to do it this way. Alright, let's not forget to add those semicolons.
Equals. Again, take our full name. Dot slice. We'll begin at the beginning, index 0. Now where do we end? We're not going to count the number of characters this time. We're going to calculate it. The ending index will be, take our full name, dot, then use the index of method. Where's the first index of a space? So that is the ending position, wherever there's a space. Then we'll display our first name. Let me get rid of our last name. There, Brosif. Now for the last name, let last name equals, let's copy this line of code, paste it. The beginning index will be full name dot index of space. You can list an ending index, but we don't need to. We would like to extract every character that comes after this position, so we don't need an ending index. All right, let's see if this works. Brosif, space, code. We're including that space. So to remedy this, I can add +1. Find the first index of a space, then start in the position after. That's why we're adding +1. Then give me every letter that comes after. And that works just fine. Brosif, code. All right, let's go over an exercise. This time we will list an email. Const email equals, why don't you go ahead and type in your email? I'll make one up for me. bro1@gmail.com. I'll extract the first part of my email to be stored as a username.
Hate to just
again, we're going to take our
stream right now. I was watching
where are we going to begin? We'll begin at index 0. That's the beginning of the string. Where will we end? We'll end wherever the @symbol is. But we need to search for it. We'll use the built-in index of method of string. Email.index of. What are we searching for? We are searching for the @symbol. And let's see if this works.
You guys split, you know.
Our username. Yep, row 1. Then let's get the extension. Let extension equals. We can copy this line of code, paste it, make a few changes. This substring will begin where the last one ended. And then again, console.log, the extension, @gmail.com. Again, like I said before, I would like to begin after this index. I will add +1. My username is bro1, my extension is gmail.com. All right, everybody, so that's string slicing. It's the process of creating a substring from a portion of another string. When you create a substring, you won't alter the original. And I've proven that by setting this string to be a constant. You can't change a constant. To create a substring, you take the string, use the built-in slice method, then you can list starting or ending indices. And well, everybody, that is string slicing in JavaScript. What's up, everybody? So in today's video, I got explained the concept of method chaining in JavaScript. Method chaining is a programming technique. It's where you call one method after another in one continuous line of code. I'll give you 2 examples of the same program, one that uses no method chaining, and another that does. Then we'll be able to see some of the benefits of method chaining. What we'll do in the first version of this program is create a variable for a username, and I will ask the user for something using window.prompt. The text will be, enter your username. After typing in some username, I would like to trim any white space around the username, take the first character, make it uppercase, take all of the other characters, make them all lowercase, and then display the output. So this program will have a few steps. Let's reassign our username, equal to username. Use the trim method to remove any white space before or after the name. Then I will get the first character of my username to capitalize it. We'll create a variable of let letter equals our username. Follow this with the char @method, the character at index 0. Letter is going to be a variable. It will hold the first letter of my username. To make my letter uppercase, I will reassign it. Letter equals letter. Use the to uppercase method to make that letter uppercase. Now with the rest of the characters, I would like to make them lowercase. Anything besides the first character. I will create a separate variable for extra characters. Let's say extra chars, short for characters.
What is he trying to do? Sorry.
Anything besides.
Oh, he's trying to show us you can just rather than doing this, you can just username.trim, then take the character at 0, then convert that into an uppercase, and then just assign that to letter.
It's the first character. I will create a separate variable for extra characters. Let's say extra chars, short for characters, equals, take our original username, use the slice method. We will slice our username everything after the first character. If my name was brocode, and I created a slice of everything but the first character, extra characters would be rocode without the B. So then let's take our extra characters, make them all lowercase. Extra characters equals extra characters, followed with the to lowercase method. Then we will combine the first letter, which is uppercase, and the extra characters, which are lowercase, then store them within our username. Username equals our letter plus the extra characters. Then we will display our username. Console.log, our username. So this program does have a lot of steps. We will run this program, enter your username. I will enter a few white spaces, type in my name, but I'll mix up the capitalization. Press OK, and there's my username.
So he's taking all the other characters. Escape, wait, what? What did I just type there? So, let's see. Yeah.
The first letter is uppercase, the rest of the letters are lowercase. So this program does work, but it is a lot to write. Now with method chaining, we can combine some of these steps together and avoid creating variables that we don't need, such as letter and extra characters. So with method chaining, what we'll do is start to combine some of these steps.
Wait. Hold on a second. I'll just do the method chaining part myself. Where did I make the typo? Username. Race 2012. Username. Where did I make the typo here? I can't maybe save this and it might work. Okay. Maybe I did not I was using a version which I did not save prior to saving, you know. Okay, let's do this with method chaining now. Just gonna comment all of that. So basically we're just gonna console.log. We'll just do it all in one line. Trim, take the character at 0, convert that into uppercase, and then we'll just take the rest and convert that to lowercase. I mean, if Python, not Python, if JavaScript had a, wait, what's that missing? So that should work hopefully. Okay, yeah, that worked. So I was just saying if JavaScript had a title method, we wouldn't need any of this. Does it have a title method? Title in no, title method string in JS? It doesn't. But there are some shortcuts to do that, I guess.
We will take our username equals take our username again. Use the trim method. We're not going to end this method with a semicolon. We're going to end it with a dot to write another method. After trimming the username, get the character at index 0. And then why stop there? Let's method chain again. Make that letter uppercase following the to uppercase method. So this will work. It's kind of like in a video game how you can have a combo. Well, this is a 3-hit combo. Boom, boom, boom. Take our username, trim it, get the first character, and then make it uppercase. All in one line of code. Not only that, let's use some string concatenation. We need to take the rest of the characters in my username, make them all lowercase, then combine them together. Again, let's take our username, use the trim method, method chain, the slice method. Slice the string after the first character. Then method chain again. Use the to lowercase method. And that should work. Console.log, my username. We're using a lot less lines of code. And I'll zoom out just so you can see everything. Enter your username, I'll throw in some white spaces, then mix up the capitalization. And that has appeared to work. So that's method chaining. It's a programming technique where you can call one method right after another in one continuous line of code. It's like a video game combo, so to say. So in this case, trim our username, give me the first character, and then make it uppercase. We did method chaining here, here, and then we combined the results using string concatenation, which is something separate entirely. By using method chaining, this helps you avoid creating named variables, but if your method chain is too long, it can become difficult to read. Like here, I am kind of pushing the limits. And well, everybody, that is method chaining in JavaScript.
All right. Let's see what's
So today I'm
next.
going to explain logical operators. There's 3 of them. And, or.
Okay, finally. There we go.
They're used to combine or manipulate Boolean values. Boolean values, if you remember, are true or false. Let's create a program. Const temp meaning temperature. What I would like to do is see if my temperature falls within a certain range. This will be in Celsius. Let's say the temperature is 28 degrees Celsius. Without using any logical operators, let's write this. If our temp is greater than 0, then we will console.log the weather is good. Else if the temperature is less than or equal to 30 degrees Celsius, we will also output the weather is good. Else.
All right. So what's the OU? So basically, he's saying you can do this, or temp. I mean,
The weather
saying
is
one
bad.
condition here, right?
Currently, my
That's
temperature
only
is 20 degrees
good.
Celsius. The weather is good. What if I were to change this to something ridiculous like 200 degrees Celsius? Well, the weather is obviously not good. Earth probably got hit by an asteroid or something. Or if I were to change my temperature to like negative 100 degrees Celsius, well, the weather isn't good either. I don't know, maybe the sun just.
Oh no, okay, greater than 0. So basically, it's trying to say if it's between 0 and 30. Let's just write the entire code here real quick. Put that in there. Save. Else the weather is bad.
Disappeared. So what I want to do is output the weather is good only if my temperature falls between the range of 0 and 30. So we're going to change this program. If our temperature is greater than 0,
And
we'll check another condition, and our temperature
When
is
it's
greater than or equal to 30, then we
inside-
can eliminate this else if clause. Now let's check the temperature.
inside these
Our temperature is
brackets.
negative 100 degrees Celsius. Well, the weather is bad. If our temperature was 200 degrees Celsius, the weather is also bad. In order for us to execute this if statement, both these conditions need to be true. This one and this one. To join two conditions, you use double ampersand, meaning and. If our temperature was 25, well, that falls
If
within
that
the range.
worked, the weather is
This is
good.
true,
Yeah,
and
as
this is
it's
true. So we will
supposed
execute
to
this
be.
code. If one of these was false, we don't execute it at all. We'll skip over it. So that is the and logical operator. You can check more than one
Right.
condition. You can check one thing and something else. Now there's or, which is double straight bars. With the or logical operator, at least one of these conditions needs to be true. This has to be true, or that has to be true. If I were to run the same program, well, then the weather is good. Let's change the temperature to 250. The weather is good, but it's not. It shouldn't be. So let's rewrite this program. If our temp is less than or equal to 0, or the temperature is greater than 30, then the weather is bad. Else, the weather is good. Our temperature is 250, the weather is bad. Negative 250, the weather is also bad. So with the or logical operator, we're checking more than one condition.
If it's less than 0, I mean. Oh, okay, yeah, the brother. Okay, the better. What is better? Okay, because I can't seem to pronounce. Yeah. Okay. So this we put here and see if that worked. And I guess what's the not thing again? Not okay. If I add this, oh, I need to add here. That work. And we need to change this to good or uppercase, and should be changed to bad, and yeah, there we go. It's working.
Is this true? Yes, it is. Negative 250 is less than 0. Or is this condition true? This one is false. But since at least one of these is true, we will execute this code. Then we will cover the not logical operator. Let's create a new program. Const is sunny. Is it sunny outside? This will be true or false. We will create an if statement. Our condition will be
I
is sunny.
guess,
Is
yeah,
this true?
it makes
If
more
is,
sense
console
with this
dot
tutorial rather than what I
It
did
is
here.
sunny. Else, we will console.log. It is cloudy. Is sunny is set to true. It is sunny. If this were false, then it is cloudy. Using the not logical operator, we can flip a boolean from true to false or false to true. I will precede this boolean with the not logical operator, which is an exclamation point. Now we're checking if it's not sunny. Then we will console.log. It is cloudy. Else, it is sunny. Is it not sunny outside? It is cloudy. Let's change this to be true. It is sunny. So basically, the not logical operator, it'll change true to be false and false to be true. All right, everybody, so that's a short topic today. Logical operators. They're used to combine or manipulate Boolean values. Use and to check to see if at least two conditions are true. With or, at least one condition needs to be true. And with not will do the opposite. And well, that is an introduction to logical operators in JavaScript.
Alright.
So, yeah, it's me again. So today I'm going to
Whoa, the audio changed all of a sudden.
explain the strict equality operator, which is represented by 3 equal signs. Before we
The
dive in, let me make a few
quality,
important distinctions.
there's a quality change which you can actually realize, right?
Single equal sign is the assignment operator.
It's
You
much
usually see it when
better,
you assign a
yeah.
value to a variable. The comparison operator, 2 equal signs, is used to compare two values to see if they're equal.
What is this? Equals strict equality operator. Compares if values and data type are equal. Alright, okay. So that would be the equivalent of doing equal to y and present in JS. Can't I? Yeah, there we go. And x or type of x equals type of y.
Equal.
Right.
Now, the strict equality operator has a whopping 3 equal signs. It not only compares if two values are equal, but if they have the same data type as well. Let me give you a demonstration. Suppose we have a constant named pi. Pi equals 3.14. Pi in my example has a data type of number. I'll create an if statement. We will check if pi is equal to the string 3.14. If it is, let's console.log.
Oh, okay. I see why this would be useful now.
That is pi. Else, we will
Because in JS, this would evaluate to true, right?
console.log. That is
If it was Python, but yeah, it would not do. I think it will throw an error, right? Because you can't compare ints and not ints, floats and strings.
not pi. Is the number 3.14 equal to the string 3.14? Well, according to JavaScript, that is pi. That's because we're using the comparison operator. We don't care about the data type.
Technically, I guess the JavaScript way makes sense, but since for those coming from a Python background, you just need to remember these sorts of nuances.
We only care about the value. Are the values equal? Now, if I was using the strict equality operator, which is 3 equal signs, well then JavaScript tells me that this is not pi, because with the strict equality operator, not only do we compare the values, but we also compare the data types as well. These values are both 3.14, but this one is a number data type, and we're comparing it to a string, so they don't match technically. If we were strictly comparing the number 3.14 to the number 3.14, well then we have a match. That is pi. One case where this is pretty helpful is when you accept user input, because user input tends to be a string data type. And then just as an extra measure, you can use the strict equality operator, and then be sure that the value is a number data type. There's also the inequality operator. It will return true if two values are not equal. So let's take... Shut up. This time we will examine if pi is not equal the string.
That's why I like rock on. Yeah, who likes those annoying notifications?
3.14. If these are not equal, this condition will evaluate to be true. So this is not pi, else this is pi. Is the number 3.14 not equal to the string 3.14? Well, that is pi still. Using the inequality operator, these values are still the same. The inequality operator will return false. Then there's the strict inequality operator. An exclamation point and two equal signs. Are the values or the data type different? So in this example, that is not pi. They have the same values, but the data type is different. If I turned my variable pi into a string, well, that is pi now. The string 3.14 stored within pi does equal the string 3.14, so this condition turns out to be false. So we execute the else statement. It might take you a little bit of time to get used to this, and that's okay. It is a little odd, but just in case you see these in the future, you'll at least be familiar with them. From now on, we will try and use the strict equality operator if we can. And well, everybody, that is the strict equality operator, and I guess, well, the inequality operator and strict inequality operator in JavaScript. Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to explain while loops in JavaScript. A while loop will repeat some code while some condition is true. Take this program, for example. We have a variable username. If our username is equal to an empty string, then we will console.log, you didn't enter your name. Else console.log, hello, username. If I run this program, then check within our console, well, we didn't enter our username. Now, if I were to change this program to a while loop, while our username is equal to an empty string, repeat this line of code forever, until this condition is no longer true. Then when we escape the while loop, we can print the message, hello, username. This is what happens when I run the program. We just print this line of code forever, and my computer's probably going to crash. I can't seem to stop. Help? Okay, I think it broke. A while loop will continue some code infinitely while this condition is true. If
While
no longer is
loops
true, then
are
we can skip the while loop.
dangerous. I mean, in my code, I would much prefer to just write a for loop with like a very, something like for I in range 500 or something. Just in case, because you never know. While loops are just, they're dangerous, alright? Especially if you have any API code in your, like if your code uses any type of API and they are paid, you definitely don't want to use a while loop in that scenario. It's much better to just use a for loop with a very long integer count, at least that's what I do.
If I were to set my username to be something other than an empty string,
as they say, better safe than sorry.
well, we never actually enter the while loop. We skip over it entirely and go straight to console.log at the end. So what we do first is check the condition. If it's true, then we get sucked into the while loop and execute this forever. You usually want some sort of way to exit the while loop while you're in it. Otherwise, you get what is known as an infinite loop. So let's rewrite this program. Let username equal.
Let's just do that from our end real quick. We're gonna make that as an empty string. And while username is strictly empty, we're gonna do console.log please and your name, rather your username. I mean, a comma needs to be there. And what we'll do is we'll prompt the user. So username is gonna be window.prompt. Give me your username. I don't know why I changed my voice all of a sudden. Okay. Cool. And if that does turn out like the user actually gave out a username, we'll say hello. Okay, we need to, can we use commas in, actually, you know what, we'll test that, but right now let's just use these template literals. So hello username. Okay, let's see. Give me your username. Nope, I won't. Nope, no. Is this working? Wait, I can't. There we go. That's 4 times 5, 6. I think this is alright. And if I enter my name, which I misspelled, okay, there we go. Cool. Now, what did I want to? Yeah, I want to test out whether this works or not. In Python, you can just comma separate in the print statement, but does it work in JavaScript? Is the question, and it does work. It adds a space in between.
An empty string, while our username is strictly equal to an empty string. Let's ask the user to enter in their name. Username equals, I'll use a window prompt. Enter your name. Okay, let's try this again. Enter your name, I'll press OK. We can't seem to close this window until we type in something. You can see I'm clicking on OK, nothing's happening. I will type in my name, press OK, then our console displays hello, whatever your name is. So that's the benefit of a while loop. Repeat some code until this condition is no longer true. Since we populated our username was not equal to an empty string. We filled username with some characters. What if I instead press cancel? Hello, null. Null means no value. Username will equal null if I press the cancel button. Let's append to this condition. Or, hello, null. Null means no value. Username will equal null if I press the cancel button. Let's append to this condition. Or,
okay.
username is strictly equal to null.
I didn't know that.
Now I shouldn't be able to continue until I type in something. And I can't escape if I hit cancel. While one of these conditions is true, execute this code forever. Let's type in our name again. And now we can escape the while loop. There's also another variation of a while loop. It's known as a do while loop. How that works is that you can move while and the condition to the end.
This is one of the things which the language has, but no one uses.
So we'll place it here. Then precede the set of curly braces with do. So we will always execute this code at least once, then check the condition at the end. Using a do while loop, I don't necessarily need to set the username. I can set it to be undefined. If I set my username to be undefined, then use a standard while loop, we never execute the while loop. Our username equals undefined. It doesn't equal an empty string or the value null, so we skip over the while loop entirely. So a do while loop is another variation of a while loop. Do the code.
Do this. And while, okay, we put the while statement after words. While username is either an empty string or it is strictly equal to null.
First, then check the condition at the end. So there's a few different ways you can write the same program. All right, let's go over another example. We'll create 3 variables. Let logged in. Logged in will be false to begin with. To log in, we have to type in a matching username. I will declare a username but not assign it, and a password. So let's create a while loop. How do we escape the while loop? Let's say while not. I'll use the not logical operator. While not logged in. Once we're logged in, once this is true, we escape the while loop. We will ask a user for their username. Username equals window.prompt. Enter your username. Let's ask for a password as well. Password equals enter your password. I'll add an if statement within the while loop. We'll check to see if our username is strictly equal to, then make up some username. My user name. And if our password is strictly equal to some password, like my password. If our username and password both match these values, then we can log in. So logged in will equal true. Then I'll console.log a confirmation message. You are logged in. Else, let's console.log another message. Invalid credentials. Please try again. All right, let's see if this works. Enter your username. I'm just going to press OK. Enter your password. I'll type in something legitimate, so I'll type in my password. Invalid credentials. Please try again. That's because I didn't type in a username. I'll type in my username. Be sure it matches. My username. My password. And we are now logged in. So since we set logged in to be true, when we go back to the beginning of our while loop, this condition is no longer true. While
do we need the brackets or are they optional? Oh, I guess we need the brackets. They are not optional. So
not logged in. But since we're logged in, we escape the while loop.
all right, hello. I guess I have to save it. Uh-huh. It's just gonna ask the username again and again. Okay, and what if I just give the correct username here, wrong password? It still asks the thing again, and okay, I made a typo there. Username, my password, and hey, we are logged in. You know what? We should let the user know that you're logged in. You have successfully logged in. Cool. Let's see if oops, that worked. My username and my password. Oh, okay, there we go. We are
Now, another variation of
logged
this is
in
the do
now.
while loop. Let's cut the condition along with while, add it to the end, then add do to the beginning. So we'll check to see if we're logged in at the end. It pretty much does the same thing, but with one exception. In this program, how this is different is that I can set logged in to be true to begin with. We'll still receive that prompt. I'll type in my username, type in my password. We are currently logged in, so we do not continue the while loop.
Yeah.
If we use a standard while loop, and we begin by being logged in, well, we never ask for any of this. We never enter the while loop. While, not logged in, do all of this. But since we are logged in, we don't do any of it. All right, everybody, so that's while loops. Repeat some code while some condition is true. While some condition remains true, execute this code forever until it's no longer true. And well, everybody, that's while loops in JavaScript. All right, what's going on, people? So today I'm going to discuss for loops. A for loop will repeat some code
I think I'm gonna take a break for a bit here, and yeah, stay tuned. I'll be right back. Alright, so did my stream miss me? Because I am back. And yeah, let's continue with our course. This is gonna be our second session. So, why can't I? Maybe for, yeah, there we go.
Limited amount of times. With a while
Just
loop
had
can
to
repeat some code infinitely.
minimize
With a for loop,
OBS.
we can do something a certain or limited amount of times. Here's an example. Let's say we would like to display the word hello 3 times. With a for loop, we can write something like this. Now to create a for loop, type for, parentheses, curly braces. Within the set of parentheses, we have up to 3 statements. The first is that we can create a temporary counter, much like we're assigning a variable. Let's create a counter named I. Let I. I is a common naming convention for counters within a loop, I meaning index. So let I equal, what number would we like to start at? Let's start at 0. Then semicolon. This is the first statement. We'll create a counter to keep track of the number of iterations. The next statement is the condition in which we continue the for loop. We will continue this for loop as long as I is less than or equal to 2. That's if we're going to execute this for loop 3 times. 0, 1, 2. That would be a total of 3. Then the third statement, we can increment or decrement our counter I. So let's increment our counter by 1 during each iteration by typing I++. And that's a for loop. I is set to 0. We'll continue as long as I is less than or equal to 2. Then during each iteration, we will increment I by 1. That means we will execute this for loop 3 times. What are we going to do when we execute?
I I really like the way Python does it. Like for I in range 2. That simple. Python in a way is syntactically very much more simple than this, isn't it?
Execute each iteration. Let's console.log hello. So this should display the word hello 3 times. Yep, hello 3. Now if I were to instead console.log I, we can see what I is. So during the first iteration,
So basically we assign a temporary variable, provide the condition, and then just add the number each time. So this is basically the first thing that goes in the range function. The start basically. We do start int should yield the same thing.
iteration,
Cool.
I, our counter, is 0, then 1, then 2. If I wanted to count up to 10, I could change my condition to be this. I is less than 10. So we begin at 0, then we count up to 9. So if I need 1 through 10, I'll set I in the beginning to be 1, then continue as long as I is less than or equal to 10. There, so we have numbers 1 through 10 using a for loop. We can even increment by a different number. Instead of increment
Alright, let's view that. And okay. So basically we got 11 numbers
our
there.
counter by 1, let's increment by 2. So I plus equals 2. So then we should count up by 2s. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. If I want to start at 2, I can change our counter to start at 2. Count from 2 to 10, but increment by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. If we would like to count down, let's start at 10, then count down to 0. Let I equal 10. We'll continue as long as I is greater than 0. Then I minus minus to decrement. Hey, for fun, after we escape the for loop, let's console.log Happy New Year. It's as if we're counting down to midnight on New Year's Eve. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year. Or we could count down by 2. I minus equals 2. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Or 3. Or whatever number. 10, 7, 4, 1, Happy New Year. Or whatever number you want. Now I'm going to cover continue and break. This time we will count to 20. We need a for loop. We'll create a counter. Let I equal. I'll set I to be 1.
Count to 20, right? Let me write that statement first. So I'm gonna assume we're gonna count from 1 to 20 since he wrote the first statement there. So let I equals 1. What's the condition? If do this for loop till I does not exceed 20. It can be 20 but does not exceed 20. Less than or equal to 20. And we increment I.
That's our first statement. Our condition is we'll continue as long as I is less than or equal to 20, then increment I by 1 during each iteration. So to test this, let's console.log I. So we have the numbers 1 through 20. So with continue, we can skip an iteration. I'm going to write an if statement. If I is equal to, now there is a superstition that 13 is an unlucky number. Let's say if I is equal to 13, we will skip that iteration. I know it's a weird example. So if I is equal to 13, let's continue. Continue will skip this iteration of the loop. Else, we will console.log whatever I is. So now when I run this program, we skip over 13. We jump from 12 to 14. So if you ever need to skip an iteration, you can use the continue keyword.
I mean, we don't need
Now
to
there's break.
else. Else is not needed there, right? I'll just skip at 13. Yeah, 13 is pressing here.
Break will break out of the loop entirely. We've seen this keyword in switches to break out of the switch. If I equals 13, then just exit the for loop entirely. So in this example, we count up to 12, but since I now equals 13, we break out of the loop entirely. We don't continue the rest of the iterations. Alright everybody, so those are for loops. You can repeat some code a limited amount of times. There's up to 3 statements we can write. We can create a temporary variable that serves as a counter, a condition in which we should continue, then we can increment or decrement our counter. And those are for loops in JavaScript. Hey, what's going on everybody? In this video, we're going to create a number guessing game using JavaScript. So why don't you go ahead and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Alright, let's get started everybody. So the first...
Right, so I'm gonna not delete
That we're
that.
going to need is to set the minimum and the maximum
should
numbers
be
in our
good
number guessing
now.
game. So we'll create two constants. Const min num for the minimum. I will set my minimum to be 1, but feel free to pick a different number if you would like. Then a maximum. Const max num. I will set my maximum to be 100. So what we got to do is generate a random number between our minimum and our maximum, inclusively. So let's create another constant. Const answer. Then we'll generate a random number between 1 and 100, our minimum and our maximum. To do that, we can type math.random. The random method of math will generate a random number between 0 and 1. We will multiply this by, within a set of parentheses, the range between our maximum minus our minimum. Then add plus 1. Let's see what we have so far. Just to test everything, I'm going to console.log our answer.
Wait, hold on a second. I know we covered this part yesterday, but yeah, let me just do this in my head. So basically, this gives a decimal point between 0 and 1. And if we want numbers between 2 and 50, for example, between 2 and 50, for example. So 48 plus 1, 49. Oh, 100 is not included, I guess, in this scenario, right?
Okay, let's inspect. Go to console. Here's my answer currently. 56 point, and then a bunch of decimal places after. I will round our answer by enclosing this equation with math.floor to round down. Okay, let's see what we get again. 39, 89, 20, 71, 27, 17, 46. Okay, that seems like it's working. What if we have a higher minimum? Let's say between 50 and 100. Well, I have 7, 22, 43, numbers that are below our minimum. So if we have a minimum besides 1, I will add to the end of this equation our minimum again. Okay, let's see if that works. So if I need a random number between 50 and 100, this equation should work. 97, 80, 79, 52. All right, that seems like it's working. So this is the equation you'll need to generate a random number between your minimum that you set and your maximum. But let's change our minimum back to 1 and make sure our maximum is 100. All right, let's move on to step 2. We'll create a variable named attempts to keep track of the attempts it takes a user. I will set attempts to be 0. And let guess. I will declare this variable, but not assign it quite yet.
Do you have seed in, let's see, seed in JS? Is it possible to, yeah, is it possible? No, it's not possible. Okay. Intentionally vague on the subject. Alright, okay.
We'll take care of that later. I will also create a Boolean variable named running, and I will set this to be true. The reason that we have the Boolean variable running is so that we can exit the game when it's over. We'll set running to equal false. So to keep the game running, we'll use a while loop. While running equals true. Now, if this is a Boolean variable, you don't necessarily need this portion, equals true. You can just set this to be while running. While this Boolean is true, keep the game going. Then when we want to exit the game, we will set running to equal false. So that will be at the end. Now we need to accept some user input. I'll do this with a window prompt. We will set our guess to equal window.prompt. I'll use a template literal. Guess a number between, I'll add a placeholder, our minimum, through, add another placeholder, our maximum. All right, to test this, I'm going to console.log.
I see. Where is this going? Why did that bring up the command prompt? Okay. So basically, at the end of all of this, if the guest, I mean, let's say guessed by the user, right? And now we have the answer already. So basically, if guess is equal to the answer, then all we do is we set running to false. Else, I guess, running to false, and then we can just break out of here. And else what we'll do would be, we'll just write afterwards, I mean, I don't think we have to do anything yet, do we? Just run infinitely unless we get the guess correct. Console dot leg. You have one. Should work. Probably he has items to limit the number of items or something. So
The type of
let's
guess,
see.
as well as what guess is. There's something I need to show you. Guess a number between 1 and 100. I'll guess something right in the middle, 50. Let's inspect, go to console. So my user input of 50 is a string data type. We'll need to convert it to a number for comparisons.
Ah, of course, of course. So number, yes.
So after we get our guess, let's reassign it and typecast it as a number type. Let's try that again. Guess a number between 1 and 100. I'll type 50. Okay. Inspect. Console. We have our guess of 50, and it's a number data type. What if you were to type in something that wasn't a number? Like a string of characters such as pizza. Here's the result. If you typecast some characters that are non-numeric, you know the number 0 through 9, you'll end up with not a number. Pizza can't be converted to a number, unfortunately. I will delete this line of code. We no longer need it. I'll add an if statement. There's a function to check to see if something is not a number. Is not a number function. If our
Okay, I didn't know that. Is not.
guess is not a number, if this evaluates to be true, let's add an alert. Window.alert. Please enter a valid number. Guess a number between 1 and 100. What if I type pizza? Please enter a valid number. Now what if somebody types in a guess that's below our minimum or above our maximum? I'll add an else if statement. Else if our guess is below our minimum or our guess is above our maximum. Will window.alert. Please enter a valid number again. Guess a number between 1 and 100. What if I type in 150? That's above our maximum. Please enter a valid number. Please enter a number between 1 and 100. -1. Please enter a valid number. If the user's guess is a number and it's between our range between the minimum and the maximum, we'll execute an else statement. If they reach the else statement, that means they have a valid number. We'll increase our attempts variable by 1. Attempts ++ to increment it. If the guess is less than the answer, then we'll window.alert. Too low. Try again. Else if the guess is greater than the answer, we'll window.alert. Too high. Try again. If the guess isn't lower than the answer, and the guess isn't higher than the answer, that means the guess must equal the answer. Within an else statement, we'll congratulate the user. They have the right answer. Window.alert. Correct. The answer was, and I should
Too low. Try again. Else if guess is greater to high, as we tell the user correct. The answer was whatever you answer.
probably use a template literal for this if we're inserting variables. The answer. We'll let the user know how many attempts it took. It took you the variable attempts, then the word attempts. At the end of our else statement, we'll move running equals false to within the else statement at the end to exit the game. We no longer want to play
Attempts. Then we set running as false.
once we have the correct answer. All right, and this should work. Let's try it.
But we are increasing the number of attempts.
Guess a number between 1 and 100. I'll guess something right now.
Okay, let's see if that works. Congrats. No. No, we are not limiting the number of attempts, so this should work. Congrats, you have won. Cool. It's also bring up the console, yeah. But do doesn't print anything. Okay, why this working? Cancel. While running, The alert isn't
In the
working.
middle,
Is
50.
it working for
Too
him?
low, try again. Okay, so the answer is between 50 and 100.
It is working for him. This not working for me. Let's just do console.log maybe. See, let's have to save it. This. It is not working. What could I have done wrong here? So, okay. That decided to work now. Just had to restart it for some reason. Cool. Just switch back to this mode and another. Okay, let's see if we can. Yeah. Let's test this out. Wait. Of course, because it needs to be between 50 and 100. Wow, viewer count is at 3 now. Hi to all those wonderful people watching. Yeah, ask any questions if you have any on stream. Just doing some JavaScript here. Writing some JavaScript code here. So let's try 55. Too high, okay. We just have what? 4 numbers. Wait, too high? What? Okay, let's see. Yeah. So we made a mistake here. When we put 50, it says too high, try again, which can't be right. Did I make any mistake at this part? Let's cheat here and see what the answer is. So, where's wow? How do how do I bring up the yeah? I use the shortcut for that. I'll say show me the answer. Okay, for some reason I have to always like when I'm using alerts, I have to close it all and then open it up again. Um, alright, fine. Let's see if this Control Shift I is the shortcut, I believe. I don't see the answer here. Where is my answer? We need to close this and let's see here. So it's not logging the. Oh, is it because there is nothing there to log? Maybe let's just also log that does that work or not? Let's close that. Open up DevTools and then go in. Okay, that worked. So our number is 22, which shouldn't be the case. So let's see what's happening here and try to figure it out. So 150, that would result in 49. Of course, we need to add the minimum number to raise it to the like the between part, right? So num should hopefully fix the thing, and I'm gonna retry. Just close this. Does anyone use alerts in production? They're just damn annoying, and so I'm gonna take a look at the answer here. We're gonna guess 51 too low. Okay, good. And 100, yeah. 60 too low. Okay, 80 too high. 70 is too low. So 75, 78. Oh, okay. Hey, look at that. We guessed the number. Was that the number though? It was the number. Cool. The answer was why isn't that complete? The answer was answer. It took 2 attempts. Oh, I guess you can't do that inside the attempt part. You can just use that inside console.log. This type of format. So let's use a template literal here. Patch that up real quick. Yeah. Answer was answer. Correct. The answer was answer. Exclamation mark. That should hopefully work. We're not gonna log the answer. We're just gonna that's not needed. And let's see. So okay, and this should also not work. Cool. 55, 70, 90, 80, 88, 85. Ah, okay. Yeah, there you go. It took us 6 attempts. Alright. Great. So we build a random number generator game and yes, the name needs some improvement, but
75, too
it's
high. So
working.
it's between 50 and 75. 62, too low. 68, too high. So it's between 62 and 68. 65, too high. 63, too low. 64. Yeah, correct. The answer was 64. It took you 7 attempts. And we can exit. All right, everybody, so that is a number guessing game in JavaScript. Hey, welcome back. So today I got to explain functions.
But we are gonna add this. This is gonna be random number generator, right? We're gonna add this in our project part. So random number guesser. So set that. Yep. Move these 3 files onto that. Just create new files real quick. HTML, index.js, and style.css. Create boilerplate code real quick. And before I forget, let's just attach the script tag. So my website, and that should be good. Let's also attach the style sheet so that we don't forget. Is that, and yeah, continue with
In
the
JavaScript, a function is
tutorial.
a section of
Oh, we have a message from what's that? Finzy25. Hey there. Yeah, I am from India. Oh, what's that? Uh, I think that's bot the second message. Yeah, Finzi, right? Yeah, I am from India. Finzi.
of reusable code. You declare that code once, and you can use it whenever you want. All you have to do is call the function to execute that code. Here's an example. We'll create a
So,
function to say happy birthday.
where were we? Yeah, let's just continue with the video.
Hey, welcome back. So today I got to explain functions in JavaScript. A function is a section of reusable code. You declare that code once, and you can use it whenever you want. All you have to do is call the function to execute that code. Here's an example. We'll create a function to sing happy birthday. Whenever we call this function, it's going to sing happy birthday. So to declare a function, you type function, a unique function name. Let's name our function happy birthday.
Oh, we finally reached the functions part. Yeah. So it's that.
As it's well, the happy birthday
First,
function.
let's just look at the video for a bit here.
Then you add a set of parentheses, then you add a set of curly braces. Any code we write between this set of curly braces, we can reuse whenever we want. So what do we want to do exactly with this function? I'll create the lyrics to my own happy birthday song. Console.log. Happy birthday to you. Let's repeat that again. Happy birthday, dear you. Happy birthday to you. Trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. So we have a function. When we run the program, it currently doesn't do anything. To execute this code within the function, we have to call the function by its name. Happy birthday. Then add a set of parentheses. So now we should execute this code. Yep.
Okay, so that's how you declare functions in JS. So but I guess you don't have the def keyword in JS defined keyword, you know. So let's just write that down real quick. What did I do that? Okay. What's that? Sorry, you must come to India. It's not as the media says, you know. So, where was I? Are you a developer?
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear you, happy birthday to you. So to call the function, you type the function name, then
So,
you add a set of parentheses. I like to think of the parentheses as
right.
two telephones talking to each other. That's how I remember it. So if I were to call this function again, what do you think is going to happen? Well, we're going to execute this function twice. 3 times? We'll execute it 3 times. As many times as I want, in fact. That's what a function is. It's a section of reusable code. Reuse it whenever you want. You just have to call it. You can send a function some values or variables. Let's change our happy birthday function. I will turn this line into a template literal. Let's replace you.
Oh, you're a Pythonista like me. How are you finding with Python? I personally, you know, started with Python too. You'll get the hang of it. Is it your first language or yeah, is it your first language? Do you know any other languages other than Python? Maybe if it is not your first language, it might be because of the you know, learning curve, as in, you know, the syntax and stuff.
With the placeholder, then we'll add a username. I'll add one more line.
Yeah. Oh, so it is your first language? Is that what you're saying?
We'll use a template literal. You are
What, are you following some online course or anything for that, like a YouTube video?
insert a placeholder. Age, years, old. So when I run this program, we have
I misspelled birthday. Seems I can't type. When I saw, oh yeah, there's a meme which I have shown in one of my streams. Learning curve from Python to C++. Meme, maybe. I guess this would be more than enough to explain. Yeah. Especially if you, as it means, as you go from Python to C++, that's gonna be a huge learning curve. What's that? You don't watch this Google functions on Python. Oh, okay. You Google. I mean, Googling is one of those skills every dev needs.
Have
You
an undefined
can't
reference there.
survive
Username
without
is not defined
Googling.
at happy birthday. So our happy birthday function
It's the hidden requirement to become a programmer, is what I believe.
it doesn't know what our username is or the age. So we can send
So, yeah, I
some
guess we
information
are gonna use some arguments now.
to the function when we call it. So within the set of parentheses, what would we like to send this function? Let's send our name. So whatever values you place within the function, be sure to comma separate them. So why don't you go ahead and send the happy birthday function a name and an age. But there's one step missing. These are known as arguments. They're data that you send a function, but you need a matching set of parameters within the parentheses of the declaration. In a way, we can define some temporary variables, and they're all comma separated. We will define a username parameter as well.
What am I currently programming? Well, if you check my YouTube channel, link down below. I currently stream what I learn, at least for the time being. I'll be soon streaming projects that I build and stuff. But basically, I want to get more involved in the machine learning, machine learning part of things. So I'm currently learning PyTorch. Well, currently what I'm streaming is JavaScript because I believe, if I have to make up projects anyways, websites as such, I need to know, like I need to build things in JavaScript, and it's gonna be a good skill anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm learning right now. Currently, I'm not programming anything that I'm not programming any projects right now. I'm just following through the course. Yeah, exactly. Console.log is the Python equivalent of print. Although it's more words here as it is with everything JavaScript so far. For example, you know how you know what, let me just bring up this. So with Python you can do something like this, right? But everything in JavaScript, as I realized, it's more explicit as such. You have to literally type .to uppercase. Yeah, and they also don't support negative indexing on arrays, I believe, or something like that. But yeah, it is like print to answer your question. JavaScript is one of those things which I guess every dev should know. Like, it is the backbone of the web after all. Oh, was that you? Oh, thank you for the follow there. Thank you. So what are you learning Python for? Do you have any specific section in mind? Like, are you learning it for machine learning, web development, or what are you learning it for? Or just for
well,
the
now this function should work properly.
sake of
Happy
learning,
birthday, dear
right?
bro code. You are 25 years old. So these are parameters and what you send to the function.
Alright, so yeah, just for fun. That's cool. I really believe, everyone, whether a dev or not, should know some level of programming. It's gonna be, yeah, it's a really useful skill to have. And what's this? Oh, I did not use. You know how in Python you can use f strings? This is the f string equivalent. You need to use these backticks apparently though. See where this is going though. So sure thing. Take care, and again thank you for the follow. So you are each years old.
Function are arguments. Let's call the function, but send different information. Happy birthday. How about SpongeBob? SpongeBob will be, I don't know how old he is according to SpongeBob lore, but let's say he's 30 years old. Happy birthday, dear SpongeBob. You are 30 years old.
How old is SpongeBob though? How old is SpongeBob? 14 years old? Alright, okay. I mean, it makes sense. I guess it makes sense.
How about Patrick this time? It's his birthday. Everybody gets a birthday. Patrick will be 37. Happy birthday, dear Patrick. You
Patrick age. And SpongeBob. Okay. So both of them are 18. I guess I thought SpongeBob was 70 sorry 14 though.
are 37 years old. So that's a benefit of passing arguments to a function. When the function receives this data, it can do something with it. Now, the order of the parameters does matter. If I were to switch age and username, here's what happens. Happy birthday, dear 37. You are Patrick years old. With the arguments that you're passing to your function, you'll want to be sure that the parameters match up. All right, now I'm going to cover the
Look at our console, and yeah, it did work.
return keyword. We'll create a few other function examples. We'll create a function to add two numbers. Function add. Then we'll need two arguments, which we will name x and y. So when we invoke this function, I would like to add x and y together. I'll create a temporary variable named result, just to store the result. Result equals x plus y. So I'm going to add two numbers together. Let's add 2 and 3 together, and let's see what happens. Well, nothing appears to happen. Well, we can send some data back to the place in which we call a function, but we need to use this return keyword. Let's return the result. So 2 plus 3 should be 5. After this function resolves, think of this function becoming the value 5. So we'll probably want to do something with that value. I'll store that within a variable. Let answer equal add 2 and 3. Then let's console.log the answer, which should be 5. When you return something from a function, after you resolve the function, think of it as becoming whatever is returned. In this case, it's our result. Or otherwise, I can place this function within console.log if we don't plan to store it at all. So add 2 and 3, then display the result, which is 5. There's a shortcut too. You don't necessarily need to declare a variable within this function. We could shorten this to return x plus y. That is also valid, so that should return 5. Okay, let's create a subtract function. Function subtract will return x minus y, but we need a matching set of parameters because I forgot that.
I believe this thing that we're doing is the hello world equivalent for functions. Whenever someone explains about functions, they always go with add, subtract, multiplication, division, creating
Okay,
those
let's see what happens when we
functions
subtract
down
3
there.
from 2. That'll give us -1. Let's multiply. Function multiply. We'll multiply x and y together. Return x times y. We will multiply 2 times 3, which is 6. Divide. We need parameters x and y. Then return x divided by y. Then we will invoke the divide function, pass in 2 and 3. And the result is 0.666 repeating. Let's go over a more complex example. We'll create a function to determine if a number is even or odd. Here's the function. Function is...
Alright, let's do that. Function is even. So basically result is going to be true. No, it's I'm thinking Pythonically. I need to bring my mind back to JavaScript mod. So result is gonna be what? First we're gonna check is x mod. You have the modulus operator, right? Then do you have the modulus operator? I believe you should have the. I would be surprised if there is no. You do have the modulus operator. So if x modulus 2, that is x is completely divisible by 2, then we are gonna assign true as false. Yes, that's one way to do it. I mean, you can just return this entire thing by itself, can't you? You need to put a space in between that. So tell me, is 2 even or not? And okay, is 2 even? Oh, it's not even. Okay. Let's see what we did there. What we did wrong there. So what is 2 modulus 2? It is 0, so it should have worked. Oh no, because 2 mod if it returns 0, then it's not true, it's false, right? So return false, we need to switch these two. That should work. Yeah, and is 22 even? Is 21 even? False. Gotcha.
Is even.
There we go.
We have one
Finally,
parameter,
we
a number.
built,
So when we invoke the function, we'll have to pass in a number.
build
So
a
when we receive a
function
number, how do we check to see if
for
this number is
checking
even?
the number is
Here's one
even
solution.
now.
We'll use an if statement. If our number modulus 2. Modulus gives you the remainder of any division. If this number divides by 2 evenly, if this is equal to 0, and yes, I'm using the strict equality operator, I'm trying to use that more often. If our number is divisible by 2, then let's return the Boolean value true. Else we'll return false. Okay, let's console.log. Let's check to see if a number is even. Let's start with 10. Is 10 even? That is true. How about 11? That is false. 12? 12 is even. So that's kind of cool. If you would like a shortcut for this, you can use the ternary operator. That would look something like this. We are going to return, then a condition. What are we checking?
Hey, that's
Is
what
our
we
number
did.
modulus 2 strictly equal to 0? Question mark. So that is the ternary operator, the question mark. If it is true, then we will return a Boolean value of true, colon, false, if it's false. Is 12 even? That is true. Is 13 even? No, it's not. It's odd. How about 14? That is true. All right, last example. I think we're probably getting the hang of this now. We'll create a function to see if an email is valid. Function is valid email. What kind of information are we going to send? We'll set that up as a parameter. We will need an email. We'll invoke the isValidEmail function and pass in an email. Why don't you type in your email? I'll just make one up. bro@fake.com. So when we invoke this function, this string of text will become our email. We'll check to see if our email contains the @ character. We'll use an if statement. If email, and there's a built-in method for this, the includes method. If our email includes the @ character, then we will return true. That is a valid email. They have the @ character. Else we will return false. Is my email valid? That is true. Let's remove the @ character. brofake.com. Maybe it's a website or something. That is false. Let's try another email. Again, we're going to invoke the function is valid email. elonmusk.com. Don't actually go there. I don't know what's going to pop up. That is not a valid email. All right, how about Zuckerberg@meta.com? That is a valid email. It contains an @ character. And for something like this, if we're returning either true or false, we can use the ternary operator. Return. Then our condition is we're going to check if our email includes the @ character. Then add the ternary operator. If this is true, return true. Else we will return false. So these should be the same, which they are. All right, everybody, so that's an introduction to functions. It's a section of reusable code. You declare some code once and use it whenever you want. You call the function to execute that code. If you need to send your function some data, you'll need a matching set of arguments and parameters. And you can return something too with the return keyword. We'll have more practice with this in the future, don't worry. And that is an introduction to functions in JavaScript. Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to explain variable scope in JavaScript. Variable scope is where a variable is recognized and accessible. In this beginner's tutorial, we'll be discussing the differences between a local scope and a global scope. Suppose we have a variable. Let x equals 1. Each variable name needs to
I
be
was
unique within its
wondering
scope.
when this thing would pop up.
I couldn't declare another variable named x, where I set x to equal 2. If I were to run this, we have a syntax error. Identifier x has already been declared. You can reuse the same variable names in your program as long as they're within different scopes. To demonstrate, let's create two functions. Function1. Within function1, we will declare a variable x. X equals 1. Then we will console.log whatever x is. Then let's create function2 by copying function1 and then paste
So
it.
do you have a global
Function2,
keyword
x will
in
equal 2. Console.log
not
x.
Python, in
If I
JavaScript?
were to invoke function1, x equals 1. If I were to invoke function2, well, x equals 2. So we have two variables with the same name in our program. That's legal as long as they have different scopes. Any variable declared inside of a function has a local scope, or anytime you declare a variable within a set of curly braces. There's no naming conflicts because they're within different scopes. That way you can declare variables with the same name, which we've done with x. Now functions can't see inside of other functions. Within function2, we will declare variable y equals 2. Then console.log x. Within function1, we will console.log y. If I were to invoke function1, we have an uncaught reference error. Y is not defined at function1.
Yeah, of course.
Functions can't see inside of other functions. Function1 has no idea what y is. We've declared that within another function. It's kind of like functions are neighboring houses. You can't necessarily see inside of your neighbor's house. Function1 has no idea what variable y is. Likewise, function2, if I were to invoke it, function2 has no idea what x is. Each of these variables are declared inside of a function, so they have a local scope. A global scope for a variable is any variable declared outside of a function. With function1, let's get rid of x. and we will console.log x. Function 2, we will get rid of y, console.log x. If I were to declare a variable outside of these functions, let x equal 3, I'll invoke function 1, we'll display x. X is 3, let's invoke function 2, x
So let's do that.
is 3. Any variable declared outside of a function has a global scope. It's available through the whole program. A global variable is recognized and accessible from anywhere. Hey, this is Bro from the future. I was editing this video and I thought of a really good analogy for global variables. Let's say that a function is a house. We live in function 1 and our neighbor lives in function 2. We can see inside of function 1, but we can't see inside of our neighbor's house at function 2. Anything that's declared in the global scope isn't found within any houses, it's outside. Everybody can plainly see it. It's kind of like a creepy stalker that's under a streetlight at 3 in the morning. Everybody, while inside of their house, can still see everything outside. That's an analogy I thought was kind of accurate to describe a global scope. However, it's not recommended to declare global variables in a large program, just because you can have naming conflicts. In a large program, I might accidentally reuse the variable x or change it somewhere. X is a very common name for a variable. So in a large program, I would stick with local variables. But in a small program like this, it's fine. When inside of a function, we'll use any local instance of a variable first. If it's not found, we'll look at the global scope. So within function 1, let's declare x to be 1. Within function 2, we'll declare x to be 2. And then within the global scope, we have x equals 3. If I were to declare function 1, do you think x will equal 1 or 3? Well, it's 1. If we have two
Right, and let x it's called function 1. See what we get. So we got 1 and then we got 3. But how we can change this globally?
variables with the same name, and they're in different scopes, we'll use the local version first. That's why x is 1 and not 3. If I were to invoke function 2, well, x equals 2. If these local variables weren't available, we would use the global version instead, where x equals 3. Alright everybody, so that is variable scope.
Make a variable global in JavaScript. Local scope. Oh, it's just that outside the function they become global. Can't be assigned inside I guess not, maybe. Change global variable value in JavaScript. So you just reference a variable inside the function, or might you just use its name? Oh, okay, so we just do x is equal to 4. That didn't work. Maybe I call let x is equal to 4. It's never mind, never mind. Oh, I see. I see. If I declare another let x is like that becomes a local scope variable. Then whatever alterations I make to it is just kept inside this function 1 function. That
It's where a variable is recognized and accessible. You have a local scope. That's any time a variable is declared within a set of curly braces. That variable is then only accessible to anything within that set of curly braces. And a global scope is where a variable is declared outside of any functions. It's available throughout the whole program. And well, everybody, that is variable scope in JavaScript. Hey, what's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to create a temperature conversion program using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right, let's begin, everybody. We will begin within our HTML file. Make sure you've linked the script to your JavaScript file, which we'll fill in later. So within the body of our document, we will create a form element.
yeah. Okay, there we go.
Within our form, we will create an H1 heading for the title of this program, which we will name temperature conversion is good.
You know what? Let's try to do this on our on first. So let's see how we would do this though. Let's just open up the file first. there a form element here? The form element, but it has nothing inside it. So let's create input. Yep, a text input. We'll have a placeholder and temperature. And okay, all right, we have that. Now we need a radio button, right? So input radio, okay. So and we also need a label, and we are gonna name this as temp converter, and this is gonna be Celsius to Fahrenheit. We'll name it as CTF and FTC. The next one would be FTC. We're gonna copy that. Name this FTC and label for what, huh? For CTF. Gonna be for FTC and Celsius to Fahrenheit. And did I spell that correct? Fahrenheit, yep, I spelled that correct. And it's gonna be Fahrenheit to Celsius. Oh, we have new viewers right now. At least I can see the viewer count at 3. Hi to all those people who just came to the stream right now. So where was I? Let's see. Okay, we have 2 radio buttons. And let's create a submit button here. So is that gonna be input button and submit? That worked. Okay. And then we have a placeholder for our value. Yeah, I know we need to style it all. Let's style this part of it first, and then let's do it that way. So, looking at this right now, yeah, well, we also need should I? Let's create a paragraph. Temperature. Let's add can we add a VR tag? We should be able to, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Temperature conversion. See. Okay. Now let's wrap all of this inside main tag. And we need to put all of this onto the sender, right? We need to send everything there. So what we are gonna do is let's give our form an ID. Form, not move form, it should be my form. Let's see how we can stylize. Is that a word? No, style is a word. Let's see how we can style our form here. So let's give this a class. So inside dot main, we are gonna use flex boxes. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna hash inside my form row direction. No, it should be flex direction. Put that as column, and that did not work for some reason. Let's see why that did not work. Oh, so it's all messed up a bit here. You know what? Why didn't that work? Why didn't that work? That BI here. Oh, didn't change anything. Okay. So we have a form. I mean, we could do that, but yeah, let's just see what would be the. So why isn't our flex box? Well, first of all, our style sheet is attached, right? Yeah. We set display as flex. This is my form, right? Okay, let's just do justify content center. Align item center. Huh. This is weird. See what's happening. Let's have a closer look. It's not being applied here. Oh, is it because I'm using a form as such? What if I use a div instead? Would that that work or not? No, that didn't work. Change that back to form. Okay, let's see here. Display effects, and this isn't working for some reason. So basically, what I'm trying to do is I set display no row direction, right? I mean flex direction as column. That ain't working. How about we give a column gap of 10 pixels? Does that do anything at all? No, it doesn't do anything. Huh. Oh, okay, okay. I think I had. Okay, so when I put it as display, this and that, like there are two elements here, this and this. These two get aligned together. But that's not what I need to do. So let's convert this into a flex box and then flex direction column. Not what I had in mind. Okay, okay. We can just put these two inside div to, I mean, the radio and the table. And yeah, I need to find a prettier extension or something. Put this inside Okay, all right. It's taking its shape now. So, so we have two, you know, radio buttons here. Man, what? We have, a text input. This is, yeah, we need to limit that. We have a submit button. We have a temperature conversion that should be in the. So if I do text align sender, yeah, that's good enough. Yeah. No, it also made this come here, but that is in reality that is what is needed. So yeah. Okay. Now how can we limit the entire width? So I guess what we can do is width max. Okay, I need to put the semicolon there. Max width, maximum of content. Okay, but it's not center anymore. Does the order matter maybe? Oh no, because we are. I see what's happening there. So ooh. How about we do percentage? Yeah. You know what? Let's think here. Let's think here. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to limit the width of the buttons without it affecting. Let's create this border thing first, I guess. Then we'll see. This border thing has a shadow kind of effect, doesn't it? You know what? Actually, we can let the main be our border thing. I'm gonna set background color white. Not wheat, it should be white. And did that change it or yes? I don't think it changed anything. Okay, but what about wheat? You know what? I guess let's convert the. Maybe it's not white. It might be some kind of white perhaps. Because the body is gray anyways. Uh, see what that is. I just need the. It's just pure white. So yes, in the dot body part of it, change the background color to be gray. Not change anything much. Yellow. So it is taking place. You know what? We'll search for the how to create this uh shadow form in CSS. Box shadow. Yes, copy that. And put that declaration here and add a bit of blur.
Using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
Okay, all right. Okay. We can do this. We can do this. So see. Let's see. Let's not worry about the box shadow for now. So we have our radio buttons in check. We have our temperature, our labels, our submit button, and everything. We need to style this now. How do we do that? Take this one step at a time. First and foremost, we're gonna change the font family to this. Yeah, I don't change anything. Maybe it's okay. All right. Okay. It's set.html, and inside we'll just do font family inherit. Why isn't that working? Tab. Give me options. Where I need to change font family here directly. Okay, that worked here. And then why didn't it work here? Font family inherit, font family initial. Okay, so just search font family set for and HTML. User following CSS. Nah, I mean, why isn't it working for me though? It should work then, right? But it is not working. Uh, Font family in CSS. For entire page. So I did not overwrite it, but hmm. Inherit and CSS. Um. Okay. I guess we'll just copy this for the time being. All right. Yeah. So we got the temperature and everything, and everything is bold. So let's do that. Font weight. I'm gonna set that to bold. Maybe not. Okay, we'll alter the font weight to 300. 500. Does it even make a change? 550. I realized I misspelled 550. Okay, let's just keep it that way. And I misspelled Celsius here. So let's fix that. Alright. So, and we need to change the color of this para here. Actually, let's just use an H1 and call it a heading. That's yeah. Oh yeah, let's set it to 100. And temperature conversion. Let's select the heading. Set the color to sorry what? It should just be just for the heading. Oh, I guess the form would inherit everything from heading, maybe. I guess that's what happens. Yeah. So, inherited from h1 dot heading. Yeah, and yes. Uh, what was that? Oh, we got a new follow from Arvinak Pasa. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but whoever it is, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's think. So, I don't want the entire thing to change. Let's just change that to a paragraph. Yeah, paragraph doesn't inherit for some reason. So let's set that to 100. And if you were to do this, that still messes things up. We'll just increase the font size here. So we're gonna set the font size large. Need to go back and no. So not large, larger. Yeah. Okay, but that's not the color that I'm looking for. So select that. And we yeah, let's select that. And we're gonna put that over here. Oh, never mind. We're just gonna copy this and then put that here. See. Okay. It's a bit off, but I can live with that. Um. So we have our font ready, and yeah, buttons working. Time to change. No, sorry, not the buttons. The radio buttons. Well, they are working, but they're not stylized properly. Stylized even a word? Okay, so next step, I need to create this kind of. I know this box shadow effect isn't there. Now the question is, how do I do it? So first of all, this box is it has a the color of this is white, whereas the background is gray. And no, I don't think they changed the background. It's just gray, anyways. It's the default color. So all I need to do is create a div or something which has this property, right? How do I do that now? So create a div put that here. Put our script tag bottom of our body, and we have a div now. Everything's enclosed in a div, and I'm gonna call it enclosure. Yeah, we're gonna call it enclosure. Okay, now I'm gonna select that. Let's see here. So let's see. First of all, for that enclosure, I'm gonna set the max width to 50%. Let's see how that looks. But it is not centered anymore. For that, I guess I can just do margin 0 auto and get centered and everything now. Great. Now I need to have that pop out kind of effect. So pop out effect for dev and CSS. Not on hover, but yeah, that's not the effect which I meant. It should be like when it's static itself, it should just be this. Did it change? Yeah, it changed the size of the buttons and everything. Guess I have to once I figure out the box, but I'll select this separately, and create make that small and add space in between each. I guess I can add space now though, now itself. So that should be after this. Not after that. Should be sorry about that. It should be after this. Before this. Okay, not exactly what I wanted. So and before the submit button. I guess I don't need these, do I? Do I need the? Yeah, this looks good enough. Okay, next, what do we need to do? Next, we need to have that pop out effect thingy, and then we'll change style the buttons after that. So let's think here. So I have this enclosure, but okay, let's change the color of the enclosure. Background color, set that to something. Let's see. So yeah, that is working. That white, but that doesn't result in any effect. For some reason. What about white smoke? How do I bring this effect up? Let's just create that box shadow first. Let's just change this a bit. Okay, so box shadow, right? Box shadow 10 pixel, 10 pixel, and I need that blur thing. So box shadow CSS. So it's just from the right and down side. We find something. Oh, I found something which looks even better, but you know what, let's just see how we can create the exact thing. So what does this do? Okay. Let's see. Uh-huh. Let's just look at into the box shadow property separately first. So you can change the color here and add a blur effect like this. Okay. So what's happening here? This is what's the comment? Oh, okay. Slash. Never mind. No, I'm not gonna comment. I will just cut it for the timing. So 10 10. So it creates. What if I reduce this? This is like how to the right do you want your pics like shadow to be offsetted by? Okay, 10 10, and if I add another 10, okay, that's the blur, all right. Play around with the values a bit. Okay, okay. I see. I spell that. Okay. Mm, a bit less, bit less. Not. We don't need. I think the blur is all right. It's just the. You know what? Let's actually. No, the blur was. Let's increase it, not decrease it. And 2 2. What does that look like? Actually, you know what? Let's increase it. A bit more, bit more. Let's increase a bit more. 5 5. Let's increase the spread. So, so. Let's just see if there are any similar that we can go by. I wonder how they did this 3D like effect. See, huh? I actually like this. It's way better, isn't it? No, actually, let's just keep this. We'll see the solution anyways. Alright, so what were we about to do? Yeah, let's set the max height to be. If we do 100%, it will just. No, okay, I thought it might. Okay, let's just set that 50 pixel. Right, that is not working for some reason. We'll just add a bit of padding at the top from the heading. Not 10, 20, 30, maybe 40. Yeah, that should be good enough. Uh, I don't know if you heard that on stream. It was, yeah, some some construction things going on that I guess. Alright. So, need a bit of breathing space at the bottom. For that, I think this is the part where we add our stylize the submit button and the text input, right? Them input. So let's create that. And let's also create the rule set for our button, submit button. Let's see if this is working. Max width 50 pixel. Yeah, it's working all right. So this to fit content. That should be good. And let's just justify contents and okay, that's not what I expected to happen. Okay, I guess what we'll do is we'll translate or transform it. Translate x 50%. Huh. I need to send it somehow. How do I do it? So sender button CSS. Not in a development, just the button. Can't you do that? Oh, I guess so bring that up and we can just do margin 0 auto. That always works. Okay, you know what, the let's set that to 70 pixels, maybe 80. And let's color that no, I mean the background color, the text color, what is it, the text, the color is just white, and border none, and border radius, let's just do 3 pixel, 10 pixel. Let's just increase the size first of all. So would that increase it? Okay, not what I expected. Increase button size in CSS. I guess you transform it and on your, so transform scale 10%, or maybe 110. What does 100% look like? 50. And the max width, let's set that to fit content itself. Let's do 40. I mean, let's do 50. I don't know, let's do 40, but when we hover over it, it just becomes 50. So hash button, when we hover over it, put cursor to pointer, yes, but at the same time, do again we'll also all 400 millisecond. I mean, not what what I expected. I guess let's not do transform. Let's just the font size by, yeah, let's just alter the font size. Why is that? Okay, let's just do scale. Let's not do all there, and animation scale 50%. Okay. Maybe what, 150? Does that change anything? No. Okay. Scale. Scale animation CSS. So let's see. Um, let's do this. Keyframes. So that's what I. Okay, let's copy that animation. Hmm. You know what? I think I'll take a quick break and be right back. Yeah, till then, stay tuned. Hey there. Is my yeah, it's visible now. Hey, I think I'll be ending the stream now. We have crossed the 3 hour 19 mark today. It's not 3 hour 19 mark. That's when I say like that. Anyway, we crossed the 3 hour mark today. We'll finish this in the next stream, and yeah, we coincidentally we also reached the 3 hour mark of the tutorial. So yeah, I guess with that being said, I'll see you all in the next one. Till then, take care. This is me, Shahjahan AI, signing off.